Good morning, children. This is Seema Prabhakaran. We'll continue with our history lesson number 1, when, where, and how. Today we'll be talking about sources of the medieval period. There are two kinds of sources which give information to reconstruct the past. These are archaeological and literary sources. First, we'll talk about archaeological sources. The objects excavated are few, but protected monuments are many that provide sufficient knowledge regarding this period. These tell us about the architectural skills of that time. The material used gives us an idea about the craftsmanship and mining. Numerous temples and mosques exhibit the skills and religious beliefs of the people. Under this next heading is paintings. A number of paintings dating back to medieval India shed light on the life of the people, their customs, dresses, and jewelries, important events, etc. Many manuscripts from the period have beautiful watercolor paintings that illustrate the text. Such paintings were very small in size and are therefore called miniature paintings. They were made on cloth, paper, palm leaf, or wood. These paintings flourished under the Mughal rule. Artists were also commissioned to make portraits of kings and nobles and depict court scenes through their paintings. Such paintings serve as important records of kings, their ancestors, and their rule. Next under this is sculptures. The medieval period of India witnessed a wide variety of sculptures. Stone and metal both were used. The indigenous style was deeply impacted by foreign style. The Cholas were great patrons of sculpture, and during their reign, many temples were built with intricate sculptures. Next is inscriptions. Inscriptions are writings or drawings usually engraved on surfaces such as stones, copper plates, and walls of temples and monuments. The study of inscriptions is known as epigraphy. Many inscriptions from the medieval period survive to this day. They are important sources of information about the kings and kingdoms of medieval period. The Uttaramerur inscription is an example. Next heading is coins. The study of coins is known as numismatics. Archaeologists have found a number of coins from the medieval period. They tell us about important rulers, their titles, the periods of their rule, their interests, achievements, and important events, etc. For example, many Mughal coins depicted the portraits of emperors. Coins issued by the Delhi sultans often carried the titles assumed by the rulers. Next is literary sources. There are a number of written records that give us valuable information about the period from AD 700 to AD 1700. Such written records are known as manuscripts. The printing press had not yet been invented. Therefore, manuscripts and documents were written by hand. People called scribes made copies of the text. Some of the important literary sources dating back to the period include autobiographies. Example, the autobiographies of Babur and Jahangir, Babarnama and Tuzuk-e-Jahangiri. Literary sources can be classified into indigenous and foreign. Indigenous literature. Kings, court poets, and scholars wrote extensively, and their work throws light on administration, economy, and society of the time. Kalhan wrote Rajtarangini, which is the history of Kashmir. Gulbadan Begum wrote Humayunama. Abul Fazl's Akbarnama and Ain-e-Akbari deal with Akbar's reign. Next is foreign literature. Foreign travelers have left interesting accounts of medieval India. Al-Biruni wrote Tariq al-Hind, which is a mirror of the 11th century. It gives information on religious, scientific, and literary traditions of India. Ibn Battuta, a Moroccan traveler, had compiled his travel memoirs called Rehla. It throws light on the social, geographical, and economic conditions of the Sultanate. Sir Thomas Roy and William Hawkins visited Jahangir's court. Thomas Roy's A Voyage to the East is a very useful source of information. Our knowledge of India's glorious past has been enhanced by these sources, which have brought to light the culture that flourished in India. That's all for today's class. Thank you and have a nice day.